When Conrail took the throttle from the hands of the Penn Central in 1976, there were hundreds of locomotives lined up in the graveyards of places like Altoona and elsewhere on the system. The Big Blue, in immediate need of reliable locomotive power, began a rebuilding program for its EMD Jeeps. Both the Conrail GP8 and GP10 fleet was part of that program, and both originally began their lives as EMD GP7s and GP9s that were built for its predecessor railroads in the early 1950s. The units were rebuilt at the Illinois Central Gulf Railroad's Paducah, Kentucky shop and received new low noses, new control stands for short hood forward operation, and overhauled prime movers. 9 GP8 units and 16 GP10s were turned out during the third quarter of 1976 wearing new Conrail paint. In 1978, Conrail continued the rebuilding program with other Jeep 7s and Jeep 9s. This time around, the rebuilding was not as extensive as the original rebuilding program was, with locals only getting mechanical and electrical work. The dynamic brakes were removed and the control stand remained set up for the long hood forward operation. And along with the Paducah Railroad shops, the work was split between the Rock Island shops in Silvis, Illinois, Morris and Knutson's shop in Boise, Idaho, and Precision National Corporation in Mount Vernon, Illinois. The Jeep 7 units returned to Conrail in 1978 with 5400 series Conrail road numbers. Lackawanna Railroad Jeep 7 number 959 was built by EMD in April of 1952 and was among 15 dynamic brake equipped Jeep 7s that pulled freight alongside steam power on the road of anthracite until the last fires were dropped in Scranton during the summer of 1953. Ha! Where have you heard that one before? After the Erie-Lackawanna merger of 1960, the 959 was renumbered to 1278. It became Conrail Jeep 7 5993 and was later rebuilt by Morris and Knutson as the GP8 5460 you see here before you. The GP8s lasted well into the 1990s until April 11, 1991 to be exact, when the entire engine class was retired. Conrail then traded the 5460 in on new power, which landed it in the Palet Brothers scrapyard. A fortunate set of circumstances resulted in the locomotive being set aside, which led to it becoming the Palet Brothers shop switcher. Around 2001, the 5460 was sold to Vulcan Materials in Kankakee, Illinois, making it only the second locomotive to leave the Palet Brothers scrapyard in running condition. This particular unit also wore 3 different Erie-Lackawanna paint variations: the Delaware-Lackawanna and Western Black with an Erie-Lackawanna number, the Erie-Lackawanna Black, and Erie-Lackawanna stripes. Once restored, it'll probably see use on home rails in the Scranton area and be made available to Steamtown when it needs diesels and also for special occasions. Here's a rare photo showing the 5460 in the 1950s in its original Delaware-Lackawanna and Western Black paint and road number. If this location looks familiar to you, it should. It's the Diamond Branch operated today by the Delaware-Lackawanna Short Line. My, how the times have changed. For Trains 21, call me AC.